Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Well, today, FBI Director James Comey was called before the House committee to answer questions about why Hillary Clinton isn't in jail. And he didn't have some very good answers, but some of the things that he said, or some of the things that were said by one of the congressmen there, hit pretty close to home. We're going to have that for you in just a moment. But first of all, before he went there, even the Wall Street Journal was talking about James Comey and the immunity that he had given to Hillary Clinton. They said that Comey will appear today, and they said his private email server investigation is looking more like a kid glove exercise. Everybody can see the criminality behind this. Comey laid out a case for multiple felonies and then said he would be crazy to prosecute her. There is no exception for intent, and we've said this over and over again. And furthermore, we have seen whistleblowers and journalists prosecuted by this administration, by the Obama administration, using the 1917 Espionage Act more than every other president in the last 100 years combined. And yet when you have someone who has committed more felonies against national security than anyone else, Hillary Clinton, she's given a pass. And the fact that these emails were not marked, as she said, that's not true. Comey clearly said they were marked as classified. And yet, offering that as an excuse still doesn't excuse her. They came after Thomas Drake, one of the NSA whistleblowers, for emails that never should have been classified. And they said, you should have known these were classified. They should have been classified. They classified them and then unclassified them and dropped the prosecution. But they were trying to send Drake, an NSA whistleblower, to jail for 30 some odd years. Now, the newest revelations show that immunity was extended to some of Clinton's top aides. That would be Cheryl Mills, her chief of staff, as well as senior advisor Heather Samuelson, in order to get them to surrender their laptops. Think about that. And as they pointed out, they said, why would they do this courtesy? If the FBI wanted anybody else's laptops, they would simply take them. But for these two, they grant them immunity. Now, typically, immunity is granted if you're trying to get information to prosecute the people who are the real masterminds of the crime. But we've seen this with the Clintons before. When Charlie Tree was granted immunity, they found out all the information, all the graft and the corruption involving the Clintons, and yet they didn't use his testimony to go after the Clintons either. No, if you're a minion of the Clintons, you simply get a pass. And I think it needs to be said that one of the minions of the Clintons is Comey himself. This is a man, along with Attorney General Loretta Lynch, who were part of a law firm that did the Clintons' taxes. It was Lynch and that let HSBC, one of the major money launderers, convicted multiple times, but they didn't send anybody to jail. They said they're too big to jail. And of course, Comey came to this position with the FBI having served on the board of HSBC. And of course, the two of them had joined earlier to let another Clinton crony, Sandy Berger, escape when he went into the National Archives, plundered documents, and destroyed them to cover up for the Clintons. Now, this is also interesting. One of the person who represents both of them, Beth Wilkinson, said that both Ms. Mills and Ms. Samuelson say the immunity deals were designed to protect their clients against any related classification disputes. This, the Wall Street Journal says, is an admission that both women knew their unsecured laptops had been holding sensitive information for more than a year. Meanwhile, they say on Friday, the FBI dumped another 189 pages of documents. That is what we continually see. And as he was called today to answer for why he is not trying to put Hillary Clinton in prison, he said one of the things they questioned him on were the latest revelations of the cover-up, as we had someone who was working for Hillary Clinton as an IT personnel saying that he needed some help, asking people on Reddit for help to destroy some documents for a VIP. And again, Comey says, nothing to see here, move on, and then goes on to say, don't call us weasels. You may think that we're wrong, but we're not weasels. No, actually, I think they are weasels. They're far worse than weasels. They are co-conspirators with Hillary Clinton in the largest violation of national security that we have ever seen. Yet we have an operative for Hillary Clinton, Congressman Nadler, who goes after Roger Stone.
In his earlier remarks, Mr. Conyers referenced an August 30th letter from the ranking members of a number of House committees. That letter asked whether the FBI was investigating troubling connections between Trump campaign officials and Russian interests. and whether they contributed to the illegal hacking of the Democratic National Committee and the Democratic National Campaign Committee. You're familiar with that letter, I take it?
Yes, I'm familiar with the letter.
I'd like to ask you a few questions. The letter said this, and I quote, "On August 8th, 2016, Roger Stone, a Donald Trump confidant, revealed that he has communicated with WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange about the upcoming release of additional illegally hacked Democratic documents. Mr. Stone made these statements during a Republican campaign event while answering a question about a potential October surprise. Obviously, if someone is stating publicly that he is in direct communication with the organization that obtained these illegally hacked documents, I assume the FBI would want to talk to that person. Has the FBI interviewed Roger Stone about his communications with Julian Assange or his knowledge of how WikiLeaks got these illegally obtained documents?"
I can't comment on that.
Mr. Stone stated that he has knowledge about upcoming leaks of additional illegally hacked documents. Has the FBI asked him about those communications?
I also can't comment on that.
Because it's an ongoing investigation?
I don't want to confirm whether there is or is not an investigation. That's the way I answered Mr. Conyers' questions as well.
Director Comey, the FBI acknowledged in public statements and testimony that it was investigating Secretary Clinton's use of a private email server, and that was while the investigation was still ongoing. Now you can't comment on whether there's an investigation. Is there a different standard for Secretary Clinton and Donald Trump? If not, what is the consistent standard?
No, our standard is we do not confirm or deny the existence of investigations. There's an exception for that when there is a need for the public to be reassured. Obviously, it's apparent given our activities, public activities, that the investigation is ongoing, but our overwhelming rule is we do not comment except in
All right, that's enough. We're going to go to break. What do you say to the charge of we're working for the Ruskies?
Well, this would be laughable if it wasn't so outrageous. This is the new McCarthyism. I mean, Congressman Jerry Nadler is a pathetic hack and a shill for Hillary Clinton, willing to overlook all of her illegal activities to try to launch a witch hunt to non-existent activities. I have no connections to the Russians. I don't work for the Russians. I'm not in touch with the Russians. I am not compensated by the Russians. My loyalty is to the United States of America. If the FBI would like to investigate my ties to WikiLeaks or the Russians, they're welcome to do so. They'll find nothing untoward or illegal. I have, as I've said on this program many times, had a back-channel communications with Assange through an intermediary simply for the purpose of gleaning information as to what he may or may not have.
And by the way, you got hacked, your bank, everything because of that.
Yes, but, I didn't hear from the FBI when I got hacked or when they destroyed my contacts or destroyed other investigative documents I was working on or invaded my bank account where there were actual thefts of thousands of dollars in illegal transfers. The FBI didn't seem to be too concerned about that. On August 21st, a bunch of Democratic hacks co-signed a letter to Comey demanding that I be investigated. These are intimidation tactics that will not work.
And let me ask you this question. I mean, obviously, we brought this up privately, but just in a vague way that we were both under investigation. I've been told this, too, before this even came out. And I'm just sitting here. I'm not even upset about it. It's so ridiculous that I'm a Russian spy. I mean, give me a break.
Well, as Nietzsche said, that which does not kill me makes me stronger. Alex, every time they attack you, and Hillary Clinton attacked you by name in a speech, which I'm jealous about, I got to be honest, they're only boosting your viewership, which I think has probably tripled in the last couple of weeks. Every time they attack you, they just underline the fact that you're a truth teller.
And again, you can see the full interview with Roger Stone, his comments, Alex Jones's comments on the Infowars article, Democrats Pressure FBI to Investigate Trump Ally Roger Stone. Now, Roger Stone was right to call this new McCarthyism. As a matter of fact, many people on the left have called these types of attacks and the attempts to link Trump with Putin a kind of McCarthyism. But it's the authoritarian left that simply wants to censor people. Understand that Roger Stone had talked to Assange just as Sean Hannity talked to Assange about Assange saying that he has upcoming documents that are going to be released in October. That's what journalists do. Are they going to investigate Sean Hannity next? And when we look at the associations that they try to put out there, understand that they say that Trump is a Putin surrogate simply because Putin said some diplomatic things about Donald Trump. They also say that Trump loves the KKK because David Duke said he liked Donald Trump. Remember that Donald Trump said he didn't want to get involved with the Reform Party when they had people from the Ku Klux Klan like David Duke joining them. There was speculation that Donald Trump was going to run at one time as a Reform Party candidate. He says, no, there's Ku Klux Klan people in there. So that's clearly a smear tactic. But if you want to take that tactic, then let's take a look at Hillary Clinton and the people who like Hillary Clinton. Remember the mall shooting in Washington? We had Arkan Setin said, and the Cascade Mall suspect said he supported Hillary Clinton and ISIS. He said, I voted for her. He said, we win, I vote for Hillary Clinton. He also suggested that Hillary Clinton should be on the new $10 bill in some of his posts. He also included Hitler's wife in the list. Okay, I guess that's because radical Muslims are also anti-Semitic. And then he puts up pictures of Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, hashtag Al-Qaeda, and says, my main dude. This is a guy who loves Hillary Clinton. Is Hillary going to disavow this ISIS terrorist who says that he loves ISIS, who murdered people? That's the game that they play. Understand that it is not just James Comey who is covering up for Hillary Clinton. She's got a network of cronies that the Clintons and the Democrats have put out throughout the government. Here's another example. On Friday, again, we learned that a judge said that he was going to hold Hillary Clinton's emails, the vast majority of them, until after the election. Judge James Boasberg on Friday ordered the State Department to finish processing 1,050 pages of material for release by November 4th, just days before the election. That'll probably be a Friday. I'd have to take a look at it, but it's probably a Friday. Again, they always dump these out on a Friday. And that's just a fraction of 10,000 pages of material. Who is this guy? This is a guy that was appointed by Barack Obama. This is a guy who ruled in 2012 that the public had no right to view government photos of a supposedly dead Osama bin Laden, shutting down a FOIA request by Judicial Watch. And this is a guy who is one of the FISA judges presiding over the security state. And yet he is covering for the largest felony violations of the security state we have ever seen.
November 12th, fighting Rashad Evans in New York at Madison Square Gardens. I'm coming to not only win, but to dominate. I need to make an exclamation mark to the entire division that I have been and I still am the best fighter in that division. I have 2 months to get ready for the fight. I'm gonna go to Albuquerque, New Mexico to Jackson Winklejohn MMA. We're actually gonna bring some cameras from Infowars to film some of my fight camp. You know, when you're training, you're training 90-minute sessions once, twice, 3 times a day. You know, there's one day a week that I only have one workout. All the other days are 2 or 3 times. You know, I use Super Male Vitality when I'm tired, when I'm broken. It's those things, it's these supplements that kick me into the next gear so I can have another training session.
It's cold-pressed, known herbs. I didn't develop this. The top herbologist, doctor group in the country. It's the best.
Yeah.
It's like sold in medical clinics, but it doesn't copy testosterone. It only gets your body to release the hormones you already have. And what I'm told is it actually blocks estrogen mimickers that are in all the plastics and crap, so it brings you more to your natural state.
What's in the things that I'm taking are real herbs. This is real food that I'm taking before workouts and after workouts.
Totally natural.
Totally natural to feel better and to be the most elite athlete on the planet.
And by the way, years ago, you and Shane were going out and getting raw milk. You were getting your vegetables from the Amish.
Go buy the product. I believe in it. It's the real deal.
And I mean, look at me. I mean, I'm no Ted Kennedy, but 70 pounds I've lost.
You feel it, you notice it, and I'm still getting faster. I'm still getting stronger. You know, I'm still becoming harder to kill every day.
With Super Male Vitality, X2 and other products, it's helped me lose over 70 pounds of freaking fat. I gained back about 30, 40 pounds of muscle. I'm a pretty big guy. And it's incredible what Mother Nature gave us, and your purchase supports everything we're doing. But you heard Tim Kennedy, who I never intended to be a sponsor.
I like it. You know, is it evil of me that I don't want Hillary's camp to start using any of our supplements? Because she might actually get a little healthier.
You know, we thought of that as a joke to send her some Super Male Vitality, and people said, well, wait, we don't want to help her. It might actually help her.
No, but really, like, it affects change. I take Super Male Vitality every single day. I love it. My wife loves it. My coaches love it because I have energy nonstop. There's a foundation to being an athlete. There's kind of the four cornerstones. You got to have healthy sleep. You have to have that workload, that hard work in the gym or every day and your job, whatever that is, hard workload. Then you have to be intimate. You have to be connected with your spouse or whoever you're with. And then lastly is nutrition. All of those are equally important. They all play parts in how you are healthy as a man. So for me as a male athlete, I have to be intimate with my wife every day, a couple of times a day if I can. I have to get good sleep. I have to have that good work, and I have to have that good food. And these things, super male vitality, is one of those things that is cornerstone to who I am as an athlete and as a man.